Hello there. Right, welcome to a chilly evening because it is a bit cold, as you can probably tell. Right, so all we're going to do then on this video is actually show you how to install these ice washers onto your reels. Now, this is a front drag system. It's a very simple process. Now, I'm going to show you the difference at the moment because this is the original ones what come with the reels. This is a Shimano 14,000 Ci4. Right, so it's locked solid. Okay, so I'm going to give it, as you can see, it's not quite dead straight, so I'm going to give it quarter of a turn. Okay, it's still tight. So at the very end of the video, after I've shown you how to install them, I'm going to show you again the difference, and then I'm going to go through the benefits with it. Why is it so good to have these ice washers? But let's get on with the video, show you how to get them in so you know what to do, because it is an easy process. Let's get the ball rolling. So all you need is a really basic screwdriver. Now there is different versions of reels. You can do it with a screwdriver or a little picking tool. So all you're going to need then, your screwdriver, your ice washers, and then also your reel. You ain't going to do much about that. So undo your front clutch. Take that off. Take your spool from your body. That's the only part what you need. That's all you're going to be working with. Right, so what I'd say is get yourself like a little tray or something like that, because with these there's 3 little screws. If you drop them, you're going to have a job of finding them. So just a little collection pot, that's all for. Right, so 3 screws. I'm just going to slightly undo them first without taking them out. And with cold hands it's very awkward. And then once I've basically cracked the seal, I can unscrew them now all the way. So there's one. Like I say, I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it as well. It's very easy. Right, so all 3 screws are undone. Hold this and then just drop all 3 into my little collection pot so I know where they are now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my ice washers ready out the bag. Now bear in mind, these also vary in price as well, depending on what reels you've got. So you get the 3 washers, that's all you need. Right, so if you get your spool, put your hand over top, turn it upside down and let them all drop out. Just make sure there's nothing in there. So I'm going to show you what to do now. So this is actually installing them. So you can see for well, there's a nylon washer here. We don't need that, so that was first. So what we want to do then, because we're replacing those nylon washers with the ice washers, so we're going to drop a carbon ice washer in first. Take that away. So the next one then is a metal ring. That's going to go in. Next one, as you can see, is another nylon one. So we're going to get another ice washer, put that in, do away with that one. Metal ring again, just keep repeating the process all the way through. Oh, a nylon one again, which is the final one, so then we want to replace it with the ice washer into there. Nylon one away, we don't require it. And then the metal one. Put this cap back on, screw it all together, and then that is it. So I'll finish that in a moment. Now, if you haven't got the screws and you don't have this system, what you'll notice, it will look a little bit like a spring inside of here. So you'll see these metal washers, and all you got to do is get the spring, pick tool, or like I say, this little posi screwdriver, pull it to one side, take the spring away instead of all the screws and everything, and then just repeat the same process. Now, most of those ones what's got the spring inside, instead of them having this like nylon-y, plasticky sort of washer, there will be a cloth one, and you'll notice that they're very greasy. Now the thing is with carbon, you don't want to have it greased. If you grease it, you'll contaminate it. So what you want to do is take them all out. If you've got the cloth ones in there that's got the grease on, make sure you give the metal ones a real good clean with an old rag. Get all the grease off before putting your ice washers in. Repeat it, obviously same process as like what I've done here. And then it's just literally finally put your spring in. Well, you don't need any tools, you can just push it in with your fingers. So I'm going to finish installing this spool here. This is the fiddly part now, getting the screws back in. If you've got a magnetic screwdriver, you're laughing. Unfortunately, I don't. So it's going to be a little bit more of a fiddle for me. So we'll screw that one in partly. Now, I'll not screw them all the way down. Not just yet. Turn it around a bit. Next one. Like I say, magnet screwdriver is so much better on magnetic. Oh, it's come out on me. Let's try and get it in this way then. Try that all. I know you probably can't see now because of where I am. And the final one. Now there's a reason why I'm not tightening them all the way up to begin with. Because what happens, you'll actually move this washer to one side. So hold it into place now. Then get your screws, nip them down. Same again, not all the way tight, just until they touch the base. That way you know that you got everything straight. And then finally what you can do is just give them a final tweak, just to make sure they are in nice and tight. There we are. Now the other thing what you'll notice, because you've taken all your rings out, you've possibly got these not quite straight. So as you put it onto your real body, it might not go all the way. So all you got to do then, with that case, is just push it on slightly, twist it until it goes in. There we are. She came out, so she's ready. Put the cap back on. If we can see which way it is. There it is. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to crank this right down. There we are. And I'm going to show you the difference now. Sorry guys, it's too cold, a silly hat's gone on. So let's get my eyes so you can see me. So we're back to the reel now. So what we're going to do, we're going to lock up solid. So I'm going to keep it at 12 o'clock for you. So up and down. I'm now going to go quarter of a turn. Yep, so there's quarter of a turn. Turn it, it's much looser. Now if I go half a turn, so bring that round to the top, like so. I'm not even going to touch the clutch, watch this. That's just with my little finger. That is that loose. I would not even use it that loose. Actually, when it's set up on my pod, the traps are set and I'm waiting for that bite, because that is just too slack. Now if it's that slack and you get an aggressive take, you're going to get a bird's nest going around your reel, because it's just going to peel off way too quickly. So I'll be tightening it back up a bit. There, that's just right. So I can still turn it with my little finger, but I've got more tension on it. I'm slipping off the line itself. Right, so let's go through the benefits then. Put that down there. Right, so the benefits are, with the ice washers, there is no grease involved. So that means maintenance is gone straight out the window. You don't have no grease to keep replacing. You don't have to keep stripping them down, cleaning them and replacing this grease. So there's one. The second one to me is fish control. Now we've all had it. You get the fish right to the edge of the net, and then sometimes it just wants to have that sudden lunge. You got your spool on pretty tight, or you're holding your spool with your finger, feathering it, however you want to do it. Once you have that sudden lunge, if you're on quite tight on there, you possibly got your net in your hand, so it's a matter of case of dropping your net, and the fish is going, and then the fish is going down. Now, on the basic washers, you got to give it all this. You got to keep messing about with the drag until it's able to go. The ice washers, quarter of a turn, half a turn max, and that's, like I say, very slack. So your main thing is, because it is such less effort actually on the spool itself, on the clutch, you're able to get more control over that fish. In that situation, the fish can run, stops you coming right down with the rod tips, can't go any further, and then all of a sudden you got a chance of possibility of either losing the fish or having a snap, because your line is so tight and the fish is going out and it's got a chance of snapping off, especially if you're on a bigger fish. So you're not going to lose it. Now, over this time of year, winter, we all know that the fish are very, very few and far between. So when you're fishing for one fish, one bite, you could be out there 72 hours, possibly longer, depending on your location where you're at. Do you really want to have that chance of losing that one fish over all that time, over a very, very silly little price of an upgrade on your reel? My answer is no, and that's the reason why I bought them myself. Anybody what's got these ice washers, use these ice washers, will always tell you that they're great. So if you've not used them before, you now know how to put them in, and you now know what to do. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.